All right, let's dive in. The error underscore file underscore not underscore found, which is either 2 or 0x2, is known as the system cannot find the file specified. It's a pretty common Windows system error. What this basically means is that the operating system or a program is trying to access a file that doesn't exist, has been moved, or perhaps has an invalid path. Now, getting into the details here, the error code is 2 or 0x2. The message that comes along with it is, the system cannot find the file specified. So you might be wondering, what causes this error? Well, it can happen when a file path is incorrect, or maybe a required file has been deleted or moved. Sometimes a service or application might be misconfigured. And then there are those pesky registry keys that refer to non-existent files. Oh, and let's not forget about scripts or installers that reference invalid locations. Alrighty, in this section we're going to go over several common scenarios. We'll cover everything from software installs to scripting errors. So, let's get started. Alright, so here's a common situation. You double-click a shortcut or a program, and instead of opening, you get an error. Or maybe the program just won't install or update like it's supposed to. The first thing you'll want to do is check the file path or the shortcut. Just right-click on the file or shortcut, then select Properties. Under Target, make sure the path actually exists. Now try navigating manually to that folder and see if the file is really there. If you can't find it that way, go ahead and use Windows Search to look for the missing .x or file. If you do find it, you can just create a new shortcut to make things easier next time. Alright, let's try reinstalling the program. First, you'll want to uninstall it by going to Control Panel, then Programs and Features. Once it's uninstalled, just download the latest installer from the official website and go ahead and reinstall it. Sometimes your antivirus might have deleted the file you need, so check your antivirus quarantine. Just open your antivirus, head over to the quarantine section, and if you spot the file there, restore it if you know it's safe. Now let's talk about another scenario. When a batch script, PowerShell, or the command line gives you that frustrating file not found error. Alright, so the first thing to do is check your file or path spelling. For example, if you try to copy c:\data\report.txt to d:\backup/, but c:\data\report.txt doesn't exist, it'll return error 0x2. So, make sure the file actually exists, you're using the correct slashes, which should be backslashes, not forward slashes, and watch out for any extra quotes or hidden characters. Next, if your paths have spaces in them, you'll need to wrap those paths in quotes. For example, use copy, then in quotes c:\myfiles\file.txt, and in quotes again d:\backup/. This helps avoid errors when your folder names have spaces. And finally, if you're using mapped drives or network paths like /network/share, be sure the drive is actually connected. That way, you won't run into any surprises when copying your files. Alright, let's use the dir command to confirm if your file is actually there. Go ahead and run dir cpath to your file.txt. If you see a message saying file not found, you'll want to double check the file name and the extension, just to be sure everything matches up. So here's scenario number 3. A Windows service fails to start. You might see error 2 or 0x2 pop up on your screen. Next, let's identify which service is having trouble. Open up services.msc, and take a look for any services that are marked as stopped or showing an error status. Alright, let's check the service path. Go ahead and run the command scqc service name. Just remember to replace service name with the actual name of your service, and you don't need the quotes unless there are spaces in the name. Now take a look at the binary _path_name and make sure the .exe file it's pointing to actually exists. If you notice that the executable is missing, here's what you need to do. You can reinstall the related software, or if you've got a backup, you can manually restore the missing file. It's really as simple as that. Now for a more advanced step, let's check the registry path. Press the Windows key plus R, then type regedit. Navigate to H key, local machine system, current control set services, your service. Make sure the image path value points to a real existing file. Oh, and before you make any changes, always back up your registry first. That's super important. So here's scenario 4. You're working with a program or a script and suddenly it says cannot open file, then throws error 2. First, let's verify if the file actually exists. Go ahead and try navigating to the file manually just to be sure. Next, check the file extension. Sometimes hidden extensions can cause confusion, like having a file named file.txt.txt without realizing it. It's a pretty common hiccup, honestly. Sometimes permissions can prevent access, so you may want to try right-clicking and choosing Run as administrator. Try booting into safe mode to check if maybe another app is blocking access. If the installer log or program startup log contains an error _file, _not _found, well, that's a sign that some files might be missing. Alright, so let's start by opening the log file. You'll want to check for a specific file path. For example, you might see an error like cannot load driver C:\program files \driver x\driver.sys. Next up, search for the missing file. You can use everything or Windows search to help you track it down. Finally, if you still can't find the file, go ahead and reinstall or repair the software. Just run the software's repair utility or rerun the installer to fix things up. Now, if you're unsure where the error is coming from, there are a few optional system-wide fixes you can try. Alright, the next thing you'll want to do is run SFC, which stands for System File Checker. Just type in sfc/scanout and let it do its thing. This tool is really handy for fixing any corrupted system files that might be causing trouble. Now, if SFC didn't quite solve the issue, go ahead and try running DISM, or Deployment Image Servicing. You'll want to use the command dism/online/cleanupimage/restore health. This helps repair the system image, just in case something deeper is going on. Next up, let's perform a clean boot. Open up misconfig, then head over to the Services tab. Make sure to check Hide Microsoft Services and then hit Disable All. This will help you figure out if there's a software conflict causing the error. So, if you're still seeing the error, don't worry. Could you please tell me where and how the error pops up? Like, does it happen during startup, while you're installing a program, running a script, or maybe when you're using a specific app? Just let me know and I'll help you narrow it down and fix it step by step.